What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Yankees Recap. Now, I haven't said that in quite some time, probably not since 2022, but point is, we are back. If you're not familiar with what this is, I run through a lot of Yankees topics, current topics, in a matter of 4 to 5, maybe 6, 7 minutes to kind of get you guys caught up, get myself caught up, and just talk some Yankees baseball. Now, funny enough, I feel like I always get the itch to do these videos when they're playing poorly, and that's what they're doing right now. They just split the series with the Mets at Citi Field. Now, let's get into that real quick, actually, because there's a main story here that ultimately is why they lost that second game and just why they're struggling overall, period. First things first, I do want to talk about the pitching situation. Gerrit Cole's been fantastic this year, and he was fantastic on Wednesday night in Game 2. Him only going 6 innings, I don't understand that. Now, I'm not a crazy Boone, I don't go after him like a lot of Yankee fans do. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. But certain moves like that, it leaves you wondering, why didn't you put Cole back out there in the 7th inning when he finished the 6th inning so strong? Yeah, ran into some trouble, but overall, he looked dominant. He had a perfect game, going into the 5th inning. The stuff, the fastball, everything was fantastic. I would have given him the 7th. I do understand that Michael King, Wandy Peralta, and Clay Holmes, they were all unavailable in Game 2, and Boone said that's because of their workload, and I actually think that's quite valid. Somebody questioned why I've suggested the Yankees should get a couple relievers at the deadline, considering they have such a good pen. Yes, they do. It's the best in baseball. But every single year it seems to happen. Relievers burn out. And with how much these guys are pitching, that's bound to happen by August, September, let alone, of course, October. So, makes sense. Give them a little bit of time off. Not get them right, but just keep them right, really. While also, I think you should add a couple relievers at the deadline for that same reason. That's the pitching end of things. The main story, though, is offensively, the Yankees are just not hitting. Now, we did see a couple flashes for DJ that was promising. Had the 2-run shot against Scherzer on Tuesday. Also had a double on Wednesday. But, obviously they're missing Aaron Judge. And I've been quoted many times as saying the Yankees are nothing without Aaron Judge. And while that's definitely true, they shouldn't be this bad. They're paying certain guys, a few guys, pretty good money to perform. And they're just not doing that right now. Let's go through it in the Mets series. Stanton, he did have a homer, a nice homer on the hanging breaking ball against Scherzer, but overall 1 for 8 in the series. Donaldson, 0 for 4, had a nice pinch hit sac fly, I'll give him that, but his at-bats are kind of back to looking lifeless, and his OPS in the season is down to 669. 5 of his 6 hits this year are home runs, and while that was cute at first and it was working nice, now he's just straight up not hitting, which isn't good. Rizzo, 1 for 8. This is a big problem. Since he went down against, against Tatis and the Padres, he had that neck injury. Ever since he came back, he has, 1 hit? These guys, in the Boston series, too, they want to combine 6 for 66 in the previous series against the Red Sox. So, since Judges went down, they have not stepped up, and that's a major problem, especially when you consider the fact the rest of the lineup actually looks half decent. I mean, the supplemental guys have been hitting. Jake Bauers, defense isn't good, but he can hit, and he has been hitting. Kyle Higashioka had a pretty big hit the other day. Anthony Volpe, too, who we'll talk about. But bottom line is, until Judge comes back, which optimistically, or maybe realistically, I don't know. I'm shooting for 4th of July. But until that point, these guys who are big names, still really good players, are supposed to be, most of them, they got to step up. Because right now they're not doing it, and that's why the Yankees are struggling. Moving on to our next topic, let's talk about Volpe because, I'm sure some of you guys have heard about this by now, but it is quite hilarious and also, in a way, concerning. So, for those who aren't aware, Volpe had, on the off day on Monday, he had a couple of his old minor league teammates over for dinner, including Austin Wells, who's Yankees' number 2 prospect now. He's a catcher who can just absolutely, he rakes. Not sure he'll be a catcher long term, maybe a corner outfielder, but bottom line is the dude can hit. Regardless, though, they were watching an old video, and Austin Wells and Volpe, they're looking over this, and they're like, yo, your stance is different now than it used to be. He used to be a lot more closed. And Volpe was like, shit, you're right. So what did Volpe do? He applied that. He tweaked his stance going into Game 1 of the Subway Series, and, dude, results were there. I mean, he had 2 hits in Game 1. The first one was impressive. Scherzer, RBI double down the line. It was a big hit. And then in Game 2 yesterday, late in the game, he had a double down the right field line. At-bats overall are just looking much better. And that's, of course, a good thing. You want Volpe to adjust. You want him to, tweak things that he has to tweak. But why didn't Dylan Lawson, the Yankees hitting corner, bring this up? That's the thing to me that doesn't exactly make sense. And I'm not, trust me, for those who are new here, I don't just automatically go after coaches and, the easy guy to go after just because, this isn't a lazy take by me, I don't think. I'm just very curious as to what Dylan Lawson's been doing this whole time. Because, I'm no scout. I haven't been looking over video from Volpe when he was a minor leaguer to now. But if I were, and that's something the Yankees I assume should be doing, it should be pretty easy to notice. Because right away, everybody noticed the other day that his stance was different. I noticed it. You guys noticed it. So, I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But takeaway here is Volpe's looking good, and that's a promising sign. Moving on to our next topic. Some quick hitters here. Shout out to IKF. He's been looking real good this season, and He stole home yesterday. That's why we're talking about this. First straight steal of home since 2016 when Jacoby Ellsbury did it against the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll put the clip up here for you guys to see. A lot of you probably remember it. I sure do. I thought it was going to turn around the 2016 Yankees, which it absolutely didn't. But IKF, he's looking good, and I think he's really adapted well to his utility role so far this year. And total flip of the narrative. I mean, this time last year and just the whole 2022 season, really, he was getting a lot of shit. From me included. Now, that wasn't deserved on his part. It was the Yankees for putting him in a situation where he just would not be successful in. He was a Gold Glove third baseman. They brought him over to play shortstop, position that he's never really thrived at in the past, and he just wasn't good at it. Go figure. And he had a career 650 OPS, and what did he do? He put up a 650 OPS for the Yankees. So he just did exactly what you would expect him to do. It's the Yankees' fault for not putting him in a position to thrive. But bottom line is, this year, he is kind of thriving. Utility role, he's playing some pretty solid outfield, moving all over the place. I think he's finally in a position where he feels comfortable and doesn't have like overwhelming pressure on him. I mean, you had the straight steal of home plate, that was electric, and even the other day when the Yankees, before Donaldson hit that sac fly to give him the lead, IKF came in as a pinch hitter, laced a base hit right up the middle. So overall, just here, good vibes around IKF. Shout out to him. Moving on, a little quickie here. I think we should mention it. Aaron Hicks is going off for the Orioles. He's batting 342, OPS over 1 dot. A lot of people are mentioning the beard, the fact that he's able to be himself now. He's not constrained by the Yankees. I think that is laughable for multiple reasons. One, it's stupid to bring up. Two, the dude did thrive as a Yankee for a couple years. Dude, I mean, you're not getting a 7-year extension if you didn't play well, so of course that wasn't an issue. And if it was an issue, if a beard, not being able to grow facial hair, is why you didn't succeed here, then I probably don't want you on my team to begin with, buddy. So, good for you, Aaron Hicks. Good for the Orioles. They're playing well. I still don't really look at them as, like, if we're going to be bounced this year, if there's going to be a reason why we failed this year, I still think it's going to end up being either because of the Rays or the Houston Astros, who they're going through some shit, by the way. They are going through some shit, a lot of injuries. Maybe this is the first year that the Astros don't win the ALS, and maybe we don't even get and I'll say it now, I do want this to happen, an ALCS rematch. You guys are going to call me crazy. I say it every single year, and it blows up in my face. I understand. I want to beat the Astros. I need the closure of this chapter in my life. Give me an ALCS against the Astros. Who knows that's going to happen? Here I'm talking shit about them, and we're only 9 games over 500. But I think things are going to work out all right for the Yankees once Judge comes back. Because let's not forget here that 2 weeks ago, let's go back to Game 2 of the Dodgers series, right, where Judge did make that catch, hit the homer, and just overall, Yankees were looking good, scoring 7, 10 runs a game pretty often, and everything was looking solid. We had people on MLB Network, people on ESPN saying, not that ESPN matters talking about baseball, but just there was a general consensus no, the Yankees are for real. They're a legit contender again. They could make a run at the World Series. Judge goes down very quickly, things change. So the fact that you're getting him back, you're going to get Rodon back, which we're about to talk about now, and then you make a couple trades at the deadline. Let's not give up on this season. Not saying you guys are, but for those who might be, keep yourself in check a little bit, bro. Understand how to watch a baseball season. There's highs, there's lows. You just got to stick with it and at least hope you get into the dance in October, which there's one thing the Yankees are good at. It's making the playoffs, so I don't think we should be freaking out, especially about that just yet. Good injury news. Let's talk about it. First off, Harrison Bader coming back on Friday for the series opener against the Boston Red Sox in Fenway. That's good. Carlos Rodon, though. This is the big news here to me. He's set to begin a rehab assignment next week. Just threw another live BP, and he's set to go, I think we'll be pitching for the Somerset Patriots, which is who Harrison Bader. He had 1 game of a rehab assignment on Wednesday. But yeah, Rodon, rehab assignment soon. That is huge. And not only that, but the fact that his stuff apparently looks good. The fastball has life to it. He's only sitting I think 92, 93 so far, but understand that he's essentially it's February 20th to him right now. I mean, he has to go through pretty much a whole spring training. That's why I still don't expect him for quite some time, because he probably has to make 3, 4, maybe even 5 rehab starts. I don't know, probably 4. But that's good news. It kind of feels like it's the tangibleization of Carlos Rodon, finally. At least a little bit. You can feel him coming. And that's something to get excited about. Second half, let's go, get ready, and hopefully he balls out, because let's not forget, Carlos Rodon is, I mentioned the MLB Network top 10 list, how they didn't put Garrett Cole in the top 10 starting pitchers, which shows how much they know. But with that said, they had Carlos Rodon ranked number 4. So if you had any doubt about how good this guy is, he is pretty much regarded when healthy as a top 5 pitcher in the game, top 10 at worst. So that'll be huge getting him back. Another thing, Ian Hamilton threw a live bullpen today. He'll be going on a rehab assignment soon as well. So wrap this all up. Yankees tough Subway Series against the Mets. I always wonder, is this do you count that as one series, or because to me it's not over. I mean, we have 2 more at home end of July next month, so I don't look at it the series isn't even official. It's partially split for now. It's temporarily split, but I look at the 4 games as one series whole. Bottom line is, certain guys need to step up. Rizzo, Stanton, Donaldson, Rizzo. Glaber's been looking better, so is DG, but just overall, those 5 guys, they're key players that, even though without Judge, things are different, those guys have to do something about it and step up, start hitting, which for the most part they haven't been doing. And yeah, good injury news. Rodon coming back soon, Bader back on Friday, and let's hope for Judge back maybe by 4th of July. That's not too far. I feel like as I get older now, time goes by so quickly. Before we know it, it'll be 4th of July, and hopefully Aaron Judge is back. I don't know. Knock on wood. Yo, let me know if you guys enjoy this kind of video. Probably will be doing it once or twice a week, maybe once or twice a month. I'm going to really try to stay consistent with it. Only problem is, I work kind of a lot. I know we all do, so I ain't making excuses, but I just got to figure out the time when I can do it. And of course, the Yankees HAVE show that comes out we'll have a new episode Friday, which is twice a week after pretty much every series. Schedule's been a little bit weird with that too, but we're being consistent with it, bro, and that's what I'm gonna do with this. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like. See you guys next time.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine.